Ashes in emphatic style.
Almost flawless cricket they played today. It was a really important day for the team. It was an important day for Pat in his first Test match as captain. You know, I know the momentum had sort of shifted a little bit back in England's favour yesterday on the back of a great partnership, but you know, coming to the ground today, still 50-odd runs behind in a Test match. That's still a long way back. You know, there was a new ball that was due just around the corner, and they were able to do some damage with that 10 overs leading into the new ball, which was where the game really changed. You know, to take those 3 wickets in those first 10 overs before the new ball and have both Malan and Root both out, game was over then.
Match! Yeah! Is that it? Is that the moment it is?
Having the bat pad for Dove and Malan and having maybe a more aggressive field for Nathan Lyon, can you just kind of tell us what you meant by that?
Yeah, there were just a couple of occasions yesterday as well where I felt that they probably could have had a bit more pressure on, especially the left-hander. Joe Root played Nathan Lyon really well. He's a class player of spin. You could see Malan was wanting to try and dominate. He was trying to use his feet against Lyon, but 9 out of 10 times he actually wasn't quite getting to the pitch of the ball. And with the natural variation in those Brisbane pitches, one will turn, one will skid on. It brings both edges into play. That's why I like having these guys either side. Yeah, and I talked about it just before the wicket fell today, but I like the fact they'd left the sweep shot open. They wanted him to try and sweep off the stumps, bringing in LBW, and they started with extra pressure on at the start of the day's play, which I thought was, if it was Lyon, if it was Pat, if it was someone else that had talked about doing that, I thought it was a fantastic way to start.
Pat Cummins couldn't have asked for a better start to his Test captaincy. Australia winning by 9 wickets.
He's kind of spoken about having maybe a more collaborative approach to captaincy, given that he is a fast bowler and things can be a bit different. How do you, I guess, generally see that playing out, and how did you see that playing out in this Test?
Personally, I think he's got to be a little bit careful with it. I actually spoke to him before the game about that exact thing. I think he needs to have a couple of guys that he's got 100% trust and faith in, and just go to them only. He doesn't need to have 6, 7, 8 different opinions coming in his direction, because when everything's going well, that's fine. When things aren't going so well, the last thing you want is advice coming from everywhere. So, and he said that that's the way he's going to do it anyway, and he'd already had a few people that he'd spoken to and he wants to speak to on the field. So, but it's he's not done much captaincy ever in his life, so he's going to want to take in advice from his more senior players in the team. But as I said, if you can limit the numbers on that, the better off he's going to be.